Okay, good morning again. So I finally got the bottom floor built in my greenhouse, swimming pool greenhouse conversion. And I've got all my citrus trees set for now. Let's take a walk down there. It's about a 3 foot to 10, about a 7 foot drop from the top side of the pool going down to the bottom. And my God, you can actually feel the climate change down here. I'm walking down here and it's cooler, still plenty of light. But the smell of these citrus trees and blossom, I wish I could send it to you. It smells so good down here. I mean, it's cooler down here. You kind of got this moist smell in the air. You got the smell of the orange blossoms. It's awesome. Anyway, I was able to put, whenever I say done, I mean done-ish. Couldn't put a tube of 6 here, so I'm gonna have to get a tube of 12 to finish it up. Got an avocado tree, which is a Mexicola. I've got a Satsuma orange Miho. This is a fig tree. This here, I think it was a gift from my brother-in-law, but this is man, I wish I could name it right. Yesterday, today, and tomorrow plant. This is not a citrus. But on the same plant, I believe it'll have a purple flower, a white flower, and maybe a pink flower. I'll show that to you later on. I don't think it can take a freeze, which is why we moved in the greenhouse. It was actually struggling, but man, once I brought it in the greenhouse, just look how pretty it is. Anyway, you can see it's budding out. And like I said, February 19th, Central Texas, it's budding out. Even have a flower fixing to open. This is, what do we have here? Rio Red grapefruit, my wife's favorite, and she's got me on. I'm like, man, when she doesn't prepare me a grapefruit in the evening, it just makes my evening go bad. I just love them. Nasty tank here, I'm still working on. All the water from when you start looking up there, all the water is made to flow underneath the steps, and it congregates into the bottom of the pool. And it'll be fine once I get the pump hooked up, but I'm trying to get, right now I hook up to this hose going outside, but I'm gonna do something more permanent and hidden. You know, I just, full disclosure, had to show that to you. It's yucky. Okay, I believe this is a kumquat. I didn't do a good job over the last couple of years of labeling everything. I think this is a kumquat. It's starting to bloom also. I'll label it once I find out. This is a Myers lemon and with a dwarf rootstock. You know, outside I had some big problems and just bugs were just eating the leaves. Anyway, I think everything is healing here. This is a Calamundia orange, and this is one that's just smelling so beautiful. I just bought it. I saw them at H-E-B. Another Rio Red that's a couple of years old. As you can see, I brought it from outside, and you can just see how the leaves just got devastated by bugs, but they're resprouting. This is an unknown, which I'll have to label. It's flowering right now. Then I have another unknown, which this is the one I've showed you in the past, just totally got devastated, but it's healing over. And with its few leaves that are resprouting, I don't know if I really wanted to produce any fruit. Along the back wall I have all my grapes, and I had a rethink on grapes. You know, I've got a terrace. I got a big terrace, and I got to do a video on it, but it's big terrace system where water's diverted through this terrace, sinks in and just waters this area. Except here in Texas, we go 90 days when it's 100 degrees and no water. So it's been a real struggle getting it established. So all these grapes, I'm gonna keep them in here and start propagating them. And this will be like my nursery stock. I'm gonna propagate grapes, take them out to the terrace, maybe plant them in a better time where there's gonna get some rainfall and stuff. Anyway, different ones. I mean, I've got, a lot of them are muscadine. I've got a muscadine cowart, muscadine triumph, and a couple of other different ones. Anyway, nursery stock, but I mean, you think about all this wall structure. I mean, just this back wall covered in grapes is gonna be pretty awesome. So I'm gonna I've got to finish the floor. I'll get the pots back. I'll get them up, planted into bigger pots, let them grow up the wall, and then start propagating them. Which is pretty cool. If you want to stay with me, I'll show you the rest. Bush beefsteak tomatoes, I grew them from seed, which is these 3. I got probably 6 more inside, still under lights. Got a jalapeno, a purple bell pepper, and a red bell pepper. Here's all my potatoes, which I just got done making a video of if you want to see the different stages of growth. Flip back over here. Now, pretty much all of this up to here is intended for the terrace. I've got a red cabbage, a broccoli, some more terrace stuff. This is 2 kiwi plants. This is a bed I'm gonna fix and plant carrots in. And then using my raised beds, most of these were done by seed, but these are the peas which are doing real good. I think today I'm gonna put some kind of trellis, probably run some strings every 6 inches on both sides of this just to kind of keep them in and let them grow up. But I think they're doing good. Strawberries, see a strawberry there. Cauliflower and broccoli, they were from a transplant. Turnips that I planted from seed, when they first sprouted, I thought, my gosh, they're so leggy, they're not getting enough sun, but I guess we progressed a couple more weeks into the year and we're getting full sun quicker here in the greenhouse. So I think they're doing good. Beets are doing good. I need to thin them. I had onions down here, but man, they like sat in my truck for 2 weeks and they were all dried out, and some were grown but didn't look good. But I figured I'll just use this shelf for some of my starter plants. Now this is a black pepper plant, peppercorn. I mean, it's literally the pepper that you use for season, the common pepper. You know, I bought 2 plants. They're not inexpensive, but put one in the greenhouse, one is a house plant. And this is just one of those homesteading things. If I can make my own spices, that would be great. I got radishes here. And here's my lettuce. We've been doing a lot of moving around, but my whole potting station needs some work. I got to get it cleaned up. And then I got, I'm going to show you this here. This is a fast fermenter. I use it for making wine, and the theory behind it is all the sediment condensed to the bottom wine making, you open this valve, and there's actually a ball here. All the sediment collects down there, so it saves from siphoning it off. It really hasn't worked good for me. I never could get the lid, as far as making wine, I could never get the lid to seal so that the airlock didn't work on it. But I'm like, got little mounting brackets. Anyway, using it for a little miracle grow. Right now I'm still on well water, but this is I'm putting rainwater in this, and man, very diluted miracle grow. I think instead of a tablespoon per gallon, I'm cutting that by 75%. Something if I water every day, it's not a big deal. There's the mason jar full of miracle grow. That's a ginger I bought at the grocery store, hadn't sprouted. Some aloe vera pups coming out the side I planted. Looks like 2 of them are going to take. Pomegranate has done nothing. These are Tractor Supply little boxes of bare root pomegranate. They're itty bitty. I couldn't believe how small they were out of the container, but nothing from it so far. Gooseberry, which is actually flowering. Then I just got some stuff waiting. Chayote, chote, I don't know how to pronounce this. Awesome little fruit, and I've tried to grow them for 2 or 3 years now, and I can never get them to sprout. But it's almost like kohlrabi. It's almost like a kohlrabi, but it's a vine, and these are just fruit that comes off a vine, and the vines are huge, like 50 feet long. I really want these in my terrace garden because I've got a big fence structure set up in there. Anyway, every year I try to grow them, I never can get them to sprout. They have a very long growing season. They need warm weather. So I found these at the grocery store, so I bought them. I put them in dirt. Ended up with a paper cat litter box. I figure if I can get them to sprout, I can just dig a hole and plant this whole box in the ground, and that paper would disintegrate, safe from transplant shock. But I got to get it to sprout first. I'll be very excited if that happens. Got a couple of artichokes here that my wife wanted. They look like second-year plants, so they should fruit this year. But I think she likes it for the ornamental. These are just some overwintered house plants. I need to get in and clean them up a little bit, see if they'll come back to life. Anyway, so that's pretty much everything. Oh, I didn't talk about this. Frontera strawberries. Look how huge these plants are. They were at HEB for $5 a plant, and they are June bearing, which means you just get one big harvest a year. I probably planted them a week ago, but I'm just gonna frame that in your mind and look at how big that crown is, and let's go look at my other strawberry plants, which are the ever bearing. I mean, just how small and compact they are. Anyway, so these are Frontera. Like I said, they weren't cheap. Usually you can get strawberry plants for $1.99, but they were like $5, but they were huge. So I bought 2 of them. I'd actually like to get a third one and plant it in that spot. But this will end up going on my green stalk, which is right there. A green stalk. You stack 5 of them high. The plants come out the side. You can get a lot of produce in a small footprint. But this is lettuce. As I'm harvesting it, this is a transplant that I bought in a 6-pack, but each plant probably had 3 or 4 plants. But as I harvest, I'm just cutting a whole plant. So like this one's several plants. When I harvest, I'm gonna cut a whole plant off to leave one single plant. And there's an example where I'm letting the single plant go. I'm trying to plant lettuce seeds about every 2 weeks just to keep a good flow. Trying to think if I missed anything here, guys. I mean, those that haven't watched before, we took a 20-foot by 40-foot swimming pool, in-ground swimming pool, that was tapered from 3 foot deep down to 9 foot deep. Built a greenhouse wall on top of it, got ventilation. Gives me, with that bottom deck, I got 15 feet from the floor to the top there. So citrus, of course. Just kind of showing you the structure real quick, and then we will sign off till next time. All right, have a great day.